Welcome to my sewing room. We are going to have so much fun today. Even the title of the show is fun. It's called Ravels and Rags. Oh, we have the cutest technique. I think probably everybody in your family will like this technique. The first little jacket I have to show you was made on a sweatsuit top. Split up the front with a zipper put in it. Do you see these little rags that are on here and split and then washed? Well, I'm going to show you how to do those today. The next little jacket is a Santa Claus jacket. It has Christmas fabrics on it. And these little rags are just little strips that are stitched down. Once again, this is done on a sweatshirt. And look here at the little ribbons around the neckline that make the little collar. That's really cute too. But see all those wonderful Santa Claus fabrics that are used to make this adorable little girl or little boy Christmas jacket? Now for a little more sophisticated look, this is really pretty in the colors of mauve and browns and beiges. Here the rags are split and stitched down just for the top on this good-looking lady's vest. This is a really elegant Ravels and Rags coat, and you know what? It's really heavy, so it's really a warm coat too. This jacket was made out of almost a linen look. This gray fabric is your jacket fabric, and then 3 different colors, turquoise, purple, and more of that gray, were stitched down. The pieces were simply stitched, thrown in the washing machine, and washed, and now it's a Ravels and Rags jacket too. Oh, this is so cute. This is a Christmas tree sweatshirt. Now I'm going to hang this here because it's a little bit different. The others are made with long strips of Ravels and Rags, but this one is made with, now let me just get in here and show you. It almost looks like little bow ties. Actually, it's little straight strips. There we go. Oh, about 3 inches long. And then they're folded over and stitched together in the middle. See, this whole Christmas tree, it's just those little straight strips about 3, maybe 3.5 inches long. And then it's embellished with all kinds of charms and beads and sequins and that gluey stuff that glitters and old little charms. It's so cute. It has a ballerina and a star flake and beads and just a little bit of everything on that Christmas tree. Come on over to the technique boards and let's see how much fun it is to make Ravels and Rags. I remember several Christmases ago, as a matter of fact it was many Christmases ago, when I used to make every Christmas gift I gave. And it was so much fun, and I keep thinking when I looked at these wonderful projects for this show, I thought, I'm going to make a lot of Christmas presents this Christmas, and I'm going to do Ravels and Rags. Now, it is so easy. Once again, you know, I don't want to do too much that isn't easy. This is a ecru fabric done on denim, and actually it's one piece of fabric that's folded over. Do you see how it's just folded over and then stitched down? Then you come in and you make little slices and little slices and little slices. See, there's the second row. There's the third row, and there's the fourth row, which hasn't been sliced. Now, after you wash it, this is what it looks like. It begins to get all ravelly and look a little bit like rags. Isn't that fun? Now, I'm going to show you also what you do if you have bias fabric. It gets real curly when you wash it. This is 5 layers of bias. That almost looks like hair. And this is 2 layers of bias, and that looks like curls. By the way, a lot of cloth doll makers use this technique to put hair on their cloth dollies. Now, you might want to make a hem around a skirt. I think this is an adorable technique. You just put tucks on the bottom of the skirt. See, there's a tuck and there's a tuck, and it's all hemmed up. Here's another tuck waiting to be stitched in. Then you come in and you slice it, and then you'll come in, of course, and wash it. And it really gets prettier the more washings it gets. All right, let's use several different fabrics. This time a print, a red, a print, and a blue. Come in and slice it. There's 1 layer, and stitch it down straight. 1 layer, and by the way, these are not bias fabrics. And then after you see what happens when you throw it in the washer and the dryer, and the more you wash it and dry it, I think the prettier it gets. Now come on over here. When I tell you this is easy, I mean it is easy, easy, and fast. So I'm going to use my roller blade, and I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to get ready to slice. I've got all of these rows. Let me get in here and show you what I've gotten done so far. I have all of these rows stitched down straight, and I haven't finished slicing this one or this one, so I'm going to slice. So I'll take it, and I'll fold back part of the fabric, and you know what I like to do? I like to put this quilter's ruler, this see-through ruler down, and hold it so my blade will not go. I say rollerblade, this is a rotary blade, not a rollerblade. I guess I've been watching the kids rollerblade too much. Then I'm going to slice up here. I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to roll it. I can make as many rolls as I want to. I can go back and make it even thinner if I want to. Just be sure you keep your fingers out of the way because this thing is sharp. All right, after I slice it, well, as a matter of fact, before I slice it, let me go ahead and put it back in its case. I'm going to come over here after I folded the fabric down. The fabric has been folded twice, pressed, laid down where it will cover the row before it, and I'm going to use a guide. I'm actually guiding on my foot over here. I've moved the needle way over, and I'm guiding on my foot, so I'll have a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but it doesn't have to be a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now see, this one is all ready to go also. 1, 2, 3 layers. All right, now then, let's bring it over here. Once again, we're getting ready to slice it up good. So I'll put it down here. I'll bring my see-through ruler right here, and once again I'll take my rotary cutter, open the blade, come in here and slice, slice, slice. This time I'm doing it inch by inch, but you can do it any way you want to, and then I'm ready to wash it. I'm going to be sure and get my blade back in. Now we have 2 of the cutest projects for you, just really fun things to do. Collars. The first one is this adorable Santa collar to wear at Christmas time. This is a collar, as you can see, it's to be worn over a jumper. Now the collar is made out of muslin, has all the Santa's beard, and actually there's two different things on Santa's beard. Let me just lift this up and show you. You see the under part of Santa's beard really looks like hair. It's all frizzly. This is a real gauzy type fabric. That's how come it became curly and frizzly. Now the one on the top is a muslin, so it's not going to become so curly and so frizzly. I also think it's very cute. We have the mustache, Santa's nose. This is just a zigzag and a gold metallic thread for his glasses. Here are his eyes and of course eyebrows. Now isn't that an adorable look for Christmas? Here's how you make this Santa bib. Not a bib, it's a Santa collar, I'm sorry. This is bias fabric. Now then, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. So this was 2 pieces of bias fabric folded over, stitched along the top, and sliced up. That forms the portion that is going to come down here and become the top of Santa Claus's bib. Then I'm going to place it around the collar, and I'm going to straight stitch it down. Now for old Santa Claus's mustache, I have another one that has 4 layers of bias fabric, and I'm going to come in here and slice all the way across, getting it ready for the washing machine. Then this little nose I think is really cute too. Let me come up here and just get the little nose down and show you. It's going to go right there. The little nose, I sew 2 circles together, turn it right side out, and then stuff that circle with cotton, and then the nose is going to go right there to be stitched down for Santa's nose. I've stitched on part of his glasses, and look here at the little eyelashes. There are black eyelashes and beige eyelashes, all of them cut on the bias that will ravel up, and of course black buttons for Santa's eyes. Now then, here is the actual collar, and that is going to be the base that you can put all of this behind. Now then, another adorable project is the little lamb. Here is the little lamb all finished. It has little ears. This is another collar, by the way. It has really fuzzy fur, and the little lamb has a mouth and 2 eyes, and actually a cute little pink bow with a little bell, so you can hear the little lamb. Once again, I have used bias strips. These are bias strips folded over. 2 strips laid together and folded over, so there are 4 layers in each one of these little strips. Make the ears. I put black on the front and printed fabric on the back. After the ears are made, they're ready to go on. Now here are the bias strips. They are now ready to be cut. Let me get my scissors in here. These have been cut. These are laid on. They're ready to be stitched on and cut. I'm going to come in here and do a little bit of trimming. Now they've got to be stitched first. I'm 1 step ahead of myself. But I'm going to come up here and I'm going to trim, trim, trim. Cut, cut, cut. all the way up. Do they have to be exactly even? No, they do not. You can make them even if you want to, but they don't have to be exactly even. Anyway, I will do this on all of these layers of bias fabric, and then I will begin to assemble the pieces, including the little part to go over the lamb's head. Look at the little eyelashes. See there? Those also have the 4 layers of the bias cut fabric, and I'll end up by even putting the little, after I get all of this ready to go in the washing machine, I'll stitch down the little bow and the little bell, and then I have a really cute little lamb collar. You know, I bet that all 4 of my granddaughters would just love that little lamb collar. I think I may be going to make those for part of their Christmas presents. And now then we have the cutest, real casual little girl's dress with raggedy ruffles on it. I just cannot wait to show you this little denim or chambray dress. This is the cutest thing. By the way, it's our pattern that comes along with the whole series. You see it has the princess front. Oh, aren't these cute? All the little fuzzy clipped areas of the ravels and rags. Good looking little plaid belt. And then come on down to the skirt. I just love this hem. It's such a fun skirt. It has the plaid, and then it has all the different layers, and it will get even more adorable as it's worn because it gets more raggedy as it's worn. And the neckline and the sleeves, all in all, just make an adorable little dress. Okay, let's see how this is done. Instead of stitching in the seam allowance for your front bodice that goes down into the princess front, instead of stitching the seams in, just stitch the seams to the outside. But oh, wait a minute, there's something else in there. There's another row of plaid, or 2 more rows of plaid and 2 more rows of the blue fabric. Well, here is how that happened. Before you stitch your seams together on the outside, you have an extra piece of the blue fabric and an extra piece of the plaid. Stitch them together. Open up the seams of the dress. Let's see, this one hasn't been stitched. Open up the seams of the dress and insert this little piece you just made that has 2 pieces folded over each other. Insert that before you actually pin your bodice and do your stitching. And then when you wash it, you'll have all kinds of little raggedy pieces there. After it is washed, this is what it looks like with all those little pieces stitched in. And now the neckline is really nice too. You do almost the same thing. You have your piece of plaid and your piece of blue lightweight denim or chambray, whichever way you pronounce it. You stitch down the bottom and you stitch the next row, and then you clip it to make it raggedy, and then you wash it and it makes that cute neckline. The hem I thought was very nice also on that little dress. This is very interesting. The first layer, let me go to this side, I think that'll be easier. The first layer of the hem is just the regular hem for the dress. Do not hem it, just cut it and let it hang. Then there is a folded over, a double layer of the plaid and a double layer of the blue fabric. Simply fold it over, and then you come in and pin them. The plaid comes up higher than the blue, and this will all be straight stitched across, and then come in and cut up all the layers and wash it. Now, I don't know of one little girl who wouldn't like to have a nice purse to go with her fancy dress. Isn't that a cute little purse to go over the shoulder? Okay, the purse, the arm strap on the purse, the strap that goes over the shoulder strap, is simply the 4 pieces of fabric folded together and stitched, and then the little purse is stitched. The seams are on the outside. See, it has a little lining, but the seams are on the outside, clipped and raggedy up, and then the little fold over portion is made out of the plaid fabric with, once again, the little strips attached. Now here is the purse in the development stage over here. Can you see the little piece that's folded over, simply stitched right to the outside? And once again, let me just pull this little dress up for you to see the look. I think that is so cute with the little Raggedy Ann around the top, the raggedy down the seams, raggedy on the sleeves, and really, really neat raggedy around the bottom of that little dress. And now we have some more tatters and rags for you and 3 really cute home decorating pillows. My first rag pillow is a very happy little orange lion. This little lion has the cutest little ravels and rags that make up bangs, and the ravels and rags go around his face, or her face, as the case would be. Now you can either paint on the eyes and the mouth, or you can take a little piece of felt, cut out a pattern, and applique them on. The choice is really yours. It really doesn't matter. Now then, to make the little fuzzies that go around his face and that go on the bangs, you're going to use bias cut fabric, and I have one row of the orange, one row of the lighter yellow, one row of solid, and another row of printed fabric. And after they are sewn together, this is so cute, kind of messy here too. After they're sewn together and washed, this is what they look like to go around the little lion's face. The second pillow I have is a little girl's tooth fairy pillow. It has a little heart on it which has ravels and rags all around the outside too. This little pillow starts with your pink fabric, printed fabric on the top and on the bottom, and then little strips that go in the middle before you sew it down with pink and green fabric folded over, and this is not bias fabric. Then put your pillow, sandwich it all together and stitch all the way around, and then come in and clip. The little heart is done the same way. You have a little heart on the top and then several different layers. Here's a pink linen, another pink linen, a green linen, and then a heart on the back. Stitch it all around, ravel it, and then when you put it on, you'll only stitch it from here around and here around, because you have to have some place to put your little tooth fairy pillow in. Excuse me, to put the little tooth in the tooth fairy pillow. You see, you put your little tooth right in there and it's all raggedy. Now, don't think we've left the little boys in your family out, because we haven't. This is a baseball tooth fairy pillow made out of denim with plaid and a little baseball on the front to stick your little tooth into. Now, here's how the little baseball is made. I think this is interesting. First of all, you get a little bit of batting and then stitch the feather stitch around with a lining. As soon as it's all stitched, then you can turn the baseball right side out. And then we have a baseball ready to stitch down on this denim pillow like this. Now, how do you make the pillow? Well, it's very much like the other one. You just simply have your folded over pieces, in this case plaid and red, sandwich them in between, put your denim on the outside and stitch around. Now, I think it's kind of cute to see that we've used feather stitch in a totally different way. I have threaded through, I'm going kind of fast here, so I'll have to talk kind of fast too. I've threaded through 2 spools of red thread through one large holed needle and done the feather stitch, which looks very much like a baseball, and it makes it a little bit thicker when you use the large holed needle and 2 spools of thread run through it. Treat it just like one. And next, I have a really pretty craft for you. I have a friend that makes a matching hanger to go with every one of her granddaughter's dresses, and I thought it might be fun for you and me to start doing that too. Here is a little hanger that's our craft for the show today that goes along with the little denim dress that we made earlier. Now, how do you make this little hanger? Well, it's very easy. Start out with a wooden hanger. That's pretty simple to find in most of our closets. Next, take some batting and cut a piece of batting, glue it around the hanger, cut a piece of fabric, go in there and just sort of kind of maybe get it fixed the right size. You can kind of pull it around the hanger, fold it under, and then pin it. I've sort of folded and pinned this side over here. After you have glued it, then just glue the whole thing together. After it is glued, come in and one more time get your glue out. This is the ravelly piece, and you can glue the ravelly piece just right down on top of the hanger, and then take some pretty ribbon and wrap the top of the hanger. I'm going to get that a little bit messed up, but that's all right. Go all the way up to the top and then glue on a pretty ribbon that matches the one that goes on the top. I really think this is cute, and I think your little granddaughter or daughters would enjoy having matching hangers also. And now I have a really pretty antique technique to share with you. This magnificent little bib is made entirely by hand. The outside layer looks like a traditional bib. It has the little one piece that comes out with pretty embroidery. Then the part of the bib that's a little bit thicker fabric for catching whatever's spilled is underneath it, kind of a lining. Then this is what I wanted to show you, this really precious little ruffle around the bib with 3 little pin tucks and laces rolled and whipped by hand on the bottom. Now we don't have to do that anymore, do we, since we have wonderful sewing machines. All right, now look, this is how you attach lace to an unfinished edge. You put your lace edging down, leave about, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of fabric exposed. In other words, the lace is in a little bit, the fabric is sticking out. And then set your machine on about a 0.5 length and maybe a 4 width and go zig and zag and zig and zag. Go over on the heading of the lace all the way off the fabric, over the heading of the lace off the fabric. And when you get it rolled and whipped, it will look like that. It will be attached very beautifully. The other technique, which I think is so spectacular on that little bib, is the 3 little pin tucks right beside the lace. Pin tucks are really very easy to make, especially if you have a pin tuck foot to use, but you don't have to have a pin tuck foot. A pin tuck foot means you can guide. All right, now let me show you what it means. It means you can guide this pin tuck in one of the grooves and keep it really straight, and you can put them as far away or as close together as you would like. I'm using a 1.6 double needle. My stitch length is 1.0, which is very short. When I'm working on batiste, I always make them very tiny and very short, and then they stand up better. I do not use stabilizer, and I am using a pin tuck foot. And you can go as fast as you want to make these wonderful little pin tucks. By the way, on my antique bib, the pin tucks were all folded and then stitched very, very close to the fold. I certainly am glad I live in an era when we have pin tuck needles and pin tuck feet. See that pretty pin tuck? And now then, if I'm ready for my next one, I'm going to come back here, and then I'm going to once again put it in the groove. That side groove. I'm going to go down the other side of the fabric now, and I'm going to double needle pin tuck and make my 3rd one. It's really easy to do, and of all the antique techniques that I think was used on more of my clothing that I have, it would have to be the pin tucks, the folded tucks, or the double needle pin tucks. Won't you come along with me to my attic? I have called this dress Pink Roses on Green, and I think it's really has some really interesting features to it. The little dress is almost a lime green, and it's netting. This is Swiss netting, Swiss embroidered netting on a lining of green silk. The little ruffles on the sleeves are what I like so much. This part is folded over and double, then it's gathered, and this is a single portion of the ruffle out here, and can you see there's absolutely no hem in it? It almost looks like it was supposed to ravel just a little bit for the Ravels and Rags show that we have today. Now there's another really interesting thing on this dress. It's a little ribbon rosette. A long time ago, ribbon rosettes indicated that the dress, that the child wearing it was the birthday girl. This one has been made, the little embroidered flowers have been cut out and put on a little circular piece of fabric and stitched by hand, and then some little ribbons come down matching the pink. Aren't these colors pretty? There's another feature of this dress that I find interesting on the bottom. The hem has been hemmed with a tuck inside the hem. See, that's kind of a double layer, and this is 4 layers. It's a tuck inside the hem, and I don't know if it was supposed to be a grow tuck or if that mother just thought it was really pretty. Either way would be good. For my Sewing from the Heart today, I have a letter from K. Wood Publishing Company. The Love Quilt Connection by K. Wood made and donated 22 love quilts to the Ronald McDonald House in Salt Lake City, Utah. This 3-day event was held at the Craft and Sewing Festival. People were asked to sit down and give as little as 10 minutes to help serge together the love quilts. The love quilts will be given to the children that stay at the Ronald McDonald House in Salt Lake City. To date, over 1,000 love quilts have been made and donated to various organizations across the country. For more information, contact K. Wood Publishing. Well, Kay, you and all of your ladies, and probably some gentlemen too that stopped to serge a little bit at the festival, I congratulate you and I thank you. I have had so much fun having you in my sewing room today, and I would certainly like to invite you to come back next time.